Do you want to know what it's like to study an MBA abroad? Today, we are talking about a journey which had a well defined professional identity here in India. This is the story of Tushar Darewar, a problem solving enthusiast leading as a senior consultant in the business world. In this episode, you are going to learn a very important aspect of life perspective. I want to start a conversation with something that I found out when I stalked your LinkedIn account. You are a professional badminton player. Am I right?
Yeah.
So you cannot be a professional Indian badminton player until and unless you have played the street style badminton. Have you? And do you know what I mean by street style badminton?
Yeah. Yeah. Your assumption is right. I have played both
You
the
have.
Indian style as well. I mean, that's the way I started, right?
Yeah. I
And then
mean, I
of
love that
course,
way.
yeah,
Without rules, without specifically that court or net on
yeah.
streets.
And then you have the wildcard entry of the wind
Yeah, that's the best.
that plays an important role. So yeah, I've played both, and then of course I restricted myself to indoors.
Which one do you prefer more?
Oh, that's a tricky question. When I'm competitive, indoor is very good. But if I want to chill, okay, outdoors is also fine.
You can play rough style outdoor more than indoor, I feel. I mean, there's the beauty of playing with only one net and then breaking the racket if you don't win. I have done that in my childhood and I don't mind saying it.
Yeah, probably.
Talking about the Indian style, you started your journey from India, having a solid professional base here in India, and then one day you decided that I want to quit my job and pursue masters. Um, you had a different perspective during that time, but then usually how people follow the path, it's always, I'll do bachelor's here in India and then masters abroad. But your thought was, let me do a job here first, let me see, and then you decided to do masters abroad. You did a dual degree in MBA. So if you could share about your experience and what was that thought process behind you making a decision, what were the key factors that you look into?
Okay. Um, I would say the thought process was not very clear that
Hmm.
from starting, like, okay, I will do this and then, move forward. There was so much, back and forth.
Hmm.
So even I was very much confused what decision to take, what not to take. Um, so I always wanted to study abroad.
Hmm.
Um, so, for example, I did mechanical engineering, right?
Hmm.
When I was doing mechanical engineering, my ambition at that point was to go into automotive, like explore best universities in automotive
Hmm.
engineering. So I was looking for options in Germany.
Okay.
But slowly then, as I went to first year, second year, third year of engineering, I thought maybe this is something that I would not want to do for life.
Okay.
So an interesting fact actually. So when I was in my third year of
Hmm.
engineering, um, I did a very big project. Uh, so usually the engineering project is done on the last year,
Yeah.
but in third year itself, I with bunch of my good friends in college, we were like so much motivated, and we created a robot which would do automatic, automatic surveying, the civil survey that we do, right?
Yeah, which is going currently here. Yeah.
Yeah, so we actually did that, and we created a robot, and we were getting the readings automatically. This was kind of a very innovative project. We actually won many national level prizes also.
Oh.
We actually represented that in IIT Bombay, in Texas that year. I don't know, maybe it was 2016 or 17.
Hmm.
uh, and we got a prize everywhere. We won some money, and we were actually looking forward to get patent, and then maybe consider that as a first business that we build together. We were four batchmates.
Hmm.
um, But while doing that, while pursuing that, we understood, like developing something is one thing, and then bringing it to business
Is
is
a whole different game altogether.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That actually pushed me towards pursuing business education.
Okay.
So that was my turning point from going for core automotive to like pursuing something in
Hmm.
business, so that I can bring whatever I develop into the market.
Hmm.
So that was my first kind of realization. And from then, of course, then started studying, started getting understanding of all the institutes in management,
Okay.
in India, in abroad,
Hmm.
whatever. So I mean, you have to understand the time was like 2016, 17.
Yeah.
In YouTube there was not this much content that we have today, right?
Yeah.
Now students have a lot of ways to learn and understand what goes
Plethora
where.
of information.
Yeah. So Google was the only primary source, and
Hmm.
of course YouTube, we had some information, but again very limited.
Hmm.
um, so yeah, I was trying to figure out what actually I can do. But seniors, relatives, family, friends suggested me like, you should have some experience before going abroad,
Hmm.
which I also agreed to. Uh,
That's a
but
good advice.
yeah, but considering my background in mechanical, I would only get core mechanical kind of jobs.
Hmm.
I was not sure how this is going to, help me in future.
Hmm.
So, for example, one thing to note here is, so I studied mechanical. When I was doing mechanical, I was like, I used to question myself.
Hmm.
Whatever I'm learning, this technology is like 50, 60 years old.
Yeah.
When I'm going to learn today's technology, when will I be able to be in a position wherein I will develop from this point?
Hmm.
So for example, at that point I remember, Bitcoin and everything was
Yeah.
buzz on
Yeah.
YouTube.
It was on the rise.
Yeah. So I was like, when will I study that?
Hmm.
What do I have to study and reach there and then like build something from there? um, so that was the thought process. um, and then of course, I got I appeared for exams, MBA exams,
Yeah.
prepared for those, um, and then got admit in many of the universities in India, as well as from abroad.
Okay.
I appeared for GRE also, GMAT also. So I was like, I want to keep all options open.
Yeah.
So I gave many exams and scored decent in all of the exams. And of course, then I started with a dual degree, so which is with one of the very reputed institutions in India.
Okay.
And then of course I went to Stevens University, which is in US,
Hmm.
in New York metropolitan area. It's
Okay.
situated in Hoboken, which is in New Jersey.
Okay.
And from there I pursued MBA in analytics. So analytics, technology management. So
Which is the future in a way in today's time.
yeah,
Analytics and data analytics and all.
yeah, I mean, everybody is saying that data is the new oil from like past 20 years.
Yeah. It is. It is. I
uh,
have to agree on that.
but I believe it is true. I mean, whatever you do, even if you build your own business, your own startup, whichever field it is, or you do job, whatever you do, you have this understanding. You need to have the understanding of the data,
Hmm.
and based on that you will of course then forecast and build from there. So yeah, that was like short recap of
Recap.
how exactly I moved here.
You said that you got an advice that have a work experience first and then make a decision that what you want to do for your further studies. um, when you decided that you wanted to do MBA from being an engineer, do you think it helped you in a way that okay, I made a decision that I want to leave engineering and go into the business world, like a business management world. But do you think that having an experience first helped you in a manner to really understand, like, that same situation could have happened again, that maybe I was wrong about the business world, I'm better off in engineering itself. So having a work experience first and then pursuing masters, do you think that it helped you to make sure your decision is 100% right?
uh, um, well, it really depends. So for example, I was working in core, and in future also I decide to work in core, then of
Hmm.
course it helps. It
Hmm.
helps at a greater level, I would say.
Okay.
But even if that is not the case, having some experience, having that discipline that you have
Hmm.
to do this, you are accountable for some certain tasks and your deliverables are there, that sense of belonging or sense of accountability is also very much important when you go abroad. So that actually helps. So I would definitely encourage anybody to have some experience
Yeah.
before moving abroad.
um
Because one of the other point is also,
hmm.
um, in India we are so much pampered. In our school, at our homes, we are so
Yes,
much pampered.
true.
If you directly go outside with like zero support, you will survive. It's not like people
But
don't
you will
survive.
struggle,
Yeah, you'll struggle a
struggle a
lot.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's always better to have maybe 1 year 2 years of experience in India and then pursue your further education.
That also helps you in, I believe that it also helps you in managing your finances more so, because if you have gone abroad without knowing how to manage finances, and then obviously there is this whole struggle of how to manage, I have to pay rent, I have to need to eat, buy groceries, do everything
Yeah.
on my own. Eventually these skills that you learned while you were working in the corporate world will definitely help you for your boat to float rather than sink.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I
I
think, based on your answer, I can say that what you were looking for is that enthusiast approach towards your working pattern, where you got that craving, where your craving of enthusiasm, excitement fulfilled. You jumped on that opportunity and you thought that this is where I can build and this is where I can really give back. Was that the thought, or is it just my brain saying that?
No, no, you are thinking in the right direction. Of course, opportunity, what it is, right? I mean, whatever any successful person does is because he got the right opportunity at the right
Hmm.
point of
Hmm.
time. So yeah, you definitely have to jump and grab the most of the opportunity
Yeah.
that you come across. Um, but at the same time, you can't really plan everything.
Yeah, that is
and
true. Life is
and
unpredictable,
yeah, I
and it needs to
mean,
be like that.
yeah, you can plan every to the T, but things will fall. I mean, they won't go as you have planned. So be open to it, and like, just go with the, I would not say with the flow, but you have to learn to sail through to all the uncertainties. So that is the only constant.
I think that way you can say that, especially abroad life, going abroad teach you this very notion of unpredictability and how one can move forward and deal with that notion. Because no matter how much pinpoint until I'm like, even full stop, those punctuations I mark down, that here I'm going to take a pause, here, here I'm going to speak, but still, at the end of the day, it is unpredictable, and life abroad teaches you that. What do you
Yeah.
think of that?
Yeah, yeah. I think you are very correct in representing that. Um, so, I mean, circling back to our previous point,
Hmm.
y- everybody is very much pampered in India.
Yeah.
Even if you go to schools, colleges, for example, I have studied in very good institutes in India and abroad as well,
Hmm.
right? Um, Professors, teachers, mentors do put a lot of effort in each student.
Yeah, they
Like,
do.
they will do kind of a spoon feeding.
In India, that is the issue. Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed. Teachers are very like making sure that
yeah,
every student is being
yeah, yeah. So that is very
pampered.
good on one part, but when you go abroad and nobody is like, like, pampering is a very distant word, but no one really look after you. You have to look after yourself. Everybody can obviously help you
Hmm.
based on your relationship and the rapport you built.
Hmm.
So you always have to give something to ask for something,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
If you only give something, then only you can have a favor. So that is how it
Favor work.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so you really have to uh, I mean, those kind of experiences do teach you to kind of swim towards uncertainties.
It is also the fact that here we don't have to mainly rely on self study, but when it comes towards abroad education, specifically university style, I think even in schooling, if I'm not mistaken, they rely on self study also. This is the teaching pattern that that is there abroad. Like there are certain hours in your weekly calendar that these are the hours that you have to do self study, and these are the hours that you're going to study. um, you yourself studied throughout, as you said, here in India, and then did an MBA abroad. I'm going to ask you two questions in one. You can answer it partwise, but I think this is the flow we're going with, so I think it will be best to ask me this right now. One being, obviously, you took a break and then came back to study again. It is difficult, let's be honest, to prepare for exams again after taking a break from studies. Pick up that paper and pen and start remembering things. It is difficult. It's not easy. Let's be honest. I can't remember two lines now. If you ask me to remember, I'm like, I'm lost. I don't know. Because obviously, studies is one part, and getting into the corporate world and sailing your ship is a different story altogether. Second part being that how different, obviously, the education pattern, the learning pattern is different than India, but how different is doing MBA here and doing MBA there?
Hmm. So let me answer your first question first.
Yeah, please.
So of course, if you think before getting into a program,
Hmm.
like, okay, I'm working, but now I will have to study. If you just think about it, it will feel like, yeah, I may not be able to do it now.
Hmm.
I did that, but now maybe I won't be able to do it. But I would say it's just one hurdle. I mean, it's just maybe a couple of days or a couple of weeks thing, and then you are back into the student zone. Because I've seen a lot of people, right? Some with very less experience, a few with very high experience. They have also come back and studied, and of course from there their careers and their aspirations as well have skyrocketed from there, and they have reached at a higher levels.
Hmm.
So I think that particular mindset is only there, that okay, I may not be able to do it,
Yeah.
but I, whatever I have seen, everybody is able to do that.
Yeah,
Everybody is able to do
you are
that.
able to bring principles in life that you are taught in the class with examples that you have been through. I think that edge does it give you?
Yeah, of course. So I mean, so one factor is like you are forced to do it, right?
Yeah.
If that is the case, um, I mean, that is not the case abroad, especially. You are
You
not.
have to study everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's by your will you do it. Now coming to your second point, how different it is. So for example, I mean, if we are only talking about MBA, so MBA is largely for networking and building relationships and getting more and more exposure. So that is one key area, especially for MBA. Your peers and your maybe college location, because from the college location only you have more exposure, right?
Hmm.
So that matters, uh, because after your MBA you will have your batchmates who will help you to grow in different organizations or maybe whatever problems you face. So it's important for you to have good peers.
Hmm.
But if you go for a technical course, this factor is not as important as it is in MBA,
Hmm.
because at at that in those particular courses, your technical expertise,
Hmm.
your deep knowledge, and your niche experience, that matters more than your network,
Mm.
right? Now coming to the difference between MBA in here in India
Mm.
and abroad. So abroad, I would say one important factor would be, mm, you get to access a lot of tools, softwares,
Mm.
a lot of exposure to good, good reputed people from reputed institutions. That access is a little bit easier for you
Mm.
if you move abroad. And of course, demand supplies game is there. So if
Yeah.
you move abroad, there are less resources available for more number of jobs. I mean, that was the case till few years back. Now it's debatable, but since the supply is also less, opportunity increases for you to get hired in good institutions. And from there, again, you get good peers as your batchmates, good peers in your office. And from there you can have a better outlook for your career than to having to struggle wherein you don't have a lot of good peers and good batchmates. So that is also a thing to be considered.
So it's all about your environment. That's the main differentiation in specifically MBA abroad versus MBA here in India, and the network that you built
Yeah.
is this other two. I think it's also the factor that here in India, specifically for an MBA field, it's as you said rightly, um, it's more on networking. It's more on network building. Um, Unfortunately, right now in India, we have, if I'm not mistaken, 1 to 2% of only foreigners, people from different
Yeah.
countries coming to India to study. The best part to do bachelor's here in India is that we are a diverse country, so we get to meet from people from different cultures, communities, and different aspects of life, and from that you learn, you pick up. Mumbai as a city is a best example, for that. But when we talk about a master's degree, when we talk about having that network building, it's also the one very factor that abroad education plays, is that you meet people from different continents, from different folks, again different cultures, communities, but it's a whole, you know
Yeah.
different in-depth story altogether, right? How do you think the global exposure helped you, build a leadership role in your career post MBA, which
Yeah.
in India maybe you would have done that?
Yeah, you're absolutely bang on this observation. um, so abroad education does give you a lot of other exposure, as in diversity.
Hmm.
So people are from different countries, different continents, different skin color, different I mean cultures in a whole different way.
Yeah,
So
different dialects of the same
yeah,
language.
exactly. So what happens is, uh, you get more open to understanding, okay, there are people who live totally differently than how you live.
Hmm.
And you're not right, they are not wrong.
Hmm.
So everybody has their own perspective, right? And so the thing is, you understand how to live in such an environment where you can collaborate with the
Hmm.
diversities that you have in your cultures, your background, your language, whatever. So that is a very good exposure, I mean, that what you get in abroad
Hmm.
education. At the same time, I would also like to highlight this, but for example, people coming from India, they are already exposed to multiculturalism.
Yes, we
So
are.
if you are, I mean, it depends from person to person, of course. If you are not open here and you have not really gone out and meet, you don't, if you don't have a lot of friends, then that really I mean, that's a different ball game altogether. But if you are open and you are exposed to diverse cultures, that helps you immensely.
Hmm.
I mean, we always see that there are so many managers and I mean high level managers, I'm not only talking about the CEOs in California, but
Yeah.
even high level managers in California in big companies are Indians.
Yeah.
It is because of the fact that we are an open society, we
Yes.
understand the differences, and we still somehow make it work.
Yeah.
That is something, if you are living in only one society with only one thought process, that is something will be difficult for you to kind of manage.
Yeah, I think I would like to add on that also. I read one very beautiful thing about India's language. So every 100 kilometer, there's a different language altogether that is spoken here. And if the same language will have a different dialect, which you won't understand. I am a Gujarati, and if I talk about the South Gujarat part, there is a different Gujarati dialect that we use. If I go towards the Saurashtra side, I need a translator. I literally need a translator. But we are somehow able to communicate with them. We are able to manage it. And I think that's the benefit of living in India and then, going abroad and then,
Yeah.
having then the different continents exposure, as you said.
Yeah, absolutely. You I mean having that exposure really helps in career,
Yeah.
for maybe like all of the people from India who are going out, everybody is helped with that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just live in a society, right? For example, where I live, where I grew up,
Hmm.
my society itself was a very, a cosmopolitan culture.
Yeah.
Every
You're Mumbai
flat.
based?
No, not Mumbai West. I am from Nashik.
Okay.
But like 50% of the uh, flats only are whose mother tongue is Marathi. The rest are different.
Yeah.
So even when you are growing up, you understand, okay, they live differently, their language
Hmm.
is different, they speak different language at home.
Yeah.
So that is also add on that we don't realize before moving abroad.
Moving abroad. Yeah. It
Yeah.
is that. Um, you made a decision after completing your MBA to come back to India, to your home country. What were the major points that you looked for? Was that opportunity option that you looked for, or was it that you thought that investment that I have got the return of it, and then I think it is the best decision for me to move back to India because there's an opportunity more here, or what is it?
Hmm. Certainly multiple factors, not just one.
Please do share that.
Yeah. Yeah, so there are, of course, more than one factor for me to considering moving back to India. First thing would be, um, when I moved outside, this was in my mind that I won't settle in like US or abroad. I would come back,
Hmm.
but before moving, I was not sure when, right?
Okay.
But
Hmm.
it was in my mind, okay, I would move back to India, uh, because I was pretty sure that parents won't move to US. So
Family played the factor,
yeah,
one of
yeah,
the factor.
yeah. So even I remember when I was in the flight first time going to the US, before it took off, I echoed that in my mind. Okay, I'm going, but I will come back. I will come back. So that was there. But anyways, I mean, then so many things changed, right? Uh, we have to consider we live in two eras at the moment, before pandemic and
After
post
yeah.
pandemic. So when I went to the US, it was before pandemic.
Okay.
So
Okay.
at that time, opportunities in India were not as many as they are post pandemic,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So when I moved there, one thing that unfortunately happened is COVID struck, and I had to live inside, and the exposure opportunities that I had were not so much useful because we were taking classes from home.
Hmm.
So, but even if that is the case, even after the education, we got, I mean, not just I, but along with my batchmates, we got a good jobs and started working. But somehow I felt that my life is getting monotonous,
Hmm.
And in US especially, there are these many visa restrictions. So for example, even if you have to switch the jobs, even if you have to plan your trip in India or any other country, you have multiple visa restrictions. Not restrictions per se, but regulations that you have to follow. So
Hmm.
I was like, I may not want to continue with those for, for life, because if you may have heard of green card, right?
Yeah.
Green card in
Hmm.
US. um, it it takes a lot of time for Indians to get the green card, and till you get the green card, your options and your restrictions, the restrictions will stay and your options will be less. So I was in US for approximately 5 years, and only once I came to India, and that was the only time I met my parents. I was feeling like, okay,
I
uh,
miss this.
yeah. And those things were going in my mind, behind those are still behind in my back. um, but when I see a sharp rise in growth opportunities in India,
Hmm.
let's say after 2021, 2022, I was like, the opportunities and the growth momentum is reducing in the developed western part of the world, and it is increasing in India specifically. So I was like, I mean, so I'm a very like enthusiastic person. I am very action oriented. So I was like, if I'm getting restrictions in US, and if I'm getting going to get good opportunities in India, like building something or working something that I can really make an impact,
Hmm.
so if that is the case, then I should consider moving back to India. And I actually went to, so I used to attend a lot of conferences. um, in 2024, I went to Harvard. They have their yearly conference over there. So I went to a conference where uh, people from India were there. Representatives of Shark Tank India were there.
Yeah. Okay.
So the I think the name of the theme was India opportunities in Harvard
Hmm.
something.
Hmm.
So I went there. I saw the enthusiasm for. So I think that was the program. That was the event where majority of the students were going to. They wanted to attend. They wanted to understand what is going in India, how are the good
Yeah.
opportunities are there. Right before that particular event, um, I was also building something on my own. So
Hmm.
2023 was the time, I think, when ChatGPT and low code, no code tools started to come in.
Yeah, 22, 21, 22, I believe.
Maybe 22, 23,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not very sure. So I was working in product
Hmm.
management in a company in California.
Hmm.
Although I used to live in New York, but my
Remotely.
yeah, yeah, my office was in California. I started putting some hours on weekends
Hmm.
and started building apps, started building products, because of course I wanted to, one thing is I want to learn, and the other thing is, if I have time, if I can build something, then I would.
Hmm.
So what I developed was, the name of the platform was Work Visa Spotter. It was basically a job portal
Hmm.
for all the expats, like myself, in US,
Hmm.
to find jobs which are visa sponsored. So
Okay.
in US, finding visa sponsored job is a task.
Okay.
So so what I did is, I used low code no code tools along with 2 3 other folks. I decided to build a platform wherein I would find jobs which are
Hmm.
visa sponsored from other multiple resources,
Hmm.
and then I would put that on my platform, and that can help students to
Hmm.
find jobs. And there was this one theme, and the other theme was also helping students to find living options, apartments, or whatever small queries they have. So usually people have Facebook groups. So I was like, okay, I will have some angle of that community on Work Visa Spotter as well. So I was building that.
Hmm.
uh, that was And then when I moved to when I went for this event, uh, I mean, I didn't go there to pitch this idea, but I was somehow able to explain that idea to multiple people over there. So some were, uh, venture capitalists, some were from PE, some were partners of big consulting firms. I just shared them with this idea, and many people reached out. Uh,
That's a big thing.
yeah, and I will probably not take name, but I actually pitched that to one of the Shark Tank founders over there.
Okay.
He really liked it. He was like, okay, whenever you move back to India, reach me out if you want to build and continue with this.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay,
Mhm.
because at that time I had not finalized that I will move back.
Move back. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it was in my thought process continuously. um, so yeah, I think then of course, when I saw the energy and enthusiasm and growth in India, I was like,
Yeah.
if I want to, like, so if I would work in US, I was earning decent money.
Hmm.
So with that monotonous environment, I would continue for like 10 years, 15 years. I could see how my life would be, you know by seeing a lot of NRIs nearby who are living there for like 20 years, and how their trajectory has been. So I thought, okay, this will be my life. And then I then I reviewed it. Is it something that I want,
Hmm.
or I want something that is growing at an exponential rate that is in India?
Okay. Hmm.
So I was like, no, I'm okay with uncertainties. Let me just, because
Pack my bags and go back
yeah,
home.
yeah, yeah, because even historically, if you see, if you are in a growing economy, uh,
There's
chances
growth
of,
potential more there.
yeah, so chances of you getting growing exponentially high is probability wise higher. And if you stay in a declining economy, the chances are obviously going to be less. And with the visa restrictions, that is even going to be less probabilistic. So again, that was my thought process. So as I told you, there were so many factors. uh, but I think, when I see, it will now be more than 1.5 year for me that I've moved back. uh, Now when I see, the one thing that really satisfied me the moment when I landed in India, uh,
Hmm.
is when I met my parents.
Yeah.
My parents were like, okay,
You are back home. We
yeah,
can sit
you
back
are
and
now in
relax.
India. Now you won't be gone for like years, and we won't be
Yeah.
able to
We'll
see
see
you.
you. Yeah.
So that kind of feeling was very satisfying for me. And of course, when you are so much away from family, you don't get to hear all small problems. Even you don't share your small problems,
Yeah.
right?
That happens eventually. Yeah.
So right when I moved back,
Hmm.
in a couple of months, I understood, okay, so
This is what was happening behind my
yeah,
back.
and I was not aware of this.
That is that.
Yeah.
Um, Coming to the thought that studying abroad was the notion. Undoubtedly, we are working towards that thought. It's there is an opportunity back coming home back India also, and there's one very strong societal notion here in India, and that is once you go abroad, you have to get settled down. And we wait for your green card, as you said, we wait for your PR paper coming out, and just that. But sometimes what happens is that you study there, and because of that global exposure, because of that international education, you get an edge in your career, and you get a good job opportunity here back home in India also. And there is no harm coming back. In fact, we are supporting in the growth of our own nation. What is your opinion on that? And how, based on your experience, you said that you had that experience. That one thing that helped you is that working abroad, you were studying, and then post that you worked there, right, in the company that you said, in the consulting firm, if I'm not mistaken.
Product management.
Product management, sorry. So that's what you said, right? So you worked there, and then you decided to come back, but you had that edge than lot of the other competitors that you have here in India, because a obviously you studied abroad, and abroad education is, one has to agree to the fact that it is one of the USA, or any this tier one countries that we have right now are, is undoubtedly they have the best education possible, and they are always cutting edge. They are always in with the trend that is going on in the market, whether currently it's artificial intelligence, right? So based on your experience, you had that, you had work experience there, and then you came back India and you had that edge. So did it help you really, or what was the scenario like for you?
Yeah, of course, it is helping me immensely.
Yeah.
Having that abroad exposure, because I understand cultures abroad.
Hmm.
In my current my job also, it helps me, because I can connect, I can
Hmm.
understand quickly, and I
What they
have,
demand, you get that.
yeah, and also I have always something to share, right?
Hmm.
It's not just like you will talk about work, you will talk something else also, but since I have lived there and I have understood how they work, how they
Hmm.
live, I can relate easily, I
Hmm.
can share the thoughts that will connect to them as well.
Hmm.
So it helps. Now coming to the point where you asked me regarding moving back to India,
Yeah.
I would say the generation that I am in, you are in, like, right? Uh, I really feel that we are very unapologetic,
Yeah.
even if we go abroad.
Yeah.
So if certain things are not working out, we are
We say it
not,
on the face.
yeah, and we are not really looking forward to bow down and just do it.
Yeah.
We are really upfront,
Hmm.
and if things are not working, we are open to like take the decision that is needed. So it is also because we have we have strength and we have growth opportunities back home,
Hmm.
you know like maybe 20 years back there were no so many opportunities in India. So if a person would go outside, he knew that he has nothing to move back to India and build something. There is not so much
Hmm.
growth. But now that he knows, even if he loses his job in US or whatever country he is in, he can move back to India. There are
Yeah.
plenty and more opportunities here.
Plus, it give him the edge that I have work experience from abroad.
Exactly.
So I mean, I bring a lot of exposure, plus at the same time network,
Yeah, yeah,
especially in your field, from abroad, that will obviously help the company to grow.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So even in my current experience, so I deal with clients from UK,
Hmm.
US. When we get opportunities, we talk about experiences, right? And then if I have to share about my experiences in US, I do share those,
Hmm.
and that actually helps me to build rapport with that person,
Hmm.
right? And that then eventually helps in your work.
Hmm.
Like they will respond to you in a friendly way, you get more friendly, and the work gets done
Hmm.
in a smoother fashion.
Because you understand their work pattern, the abroad exposure, just working there helped you in understanding that. I think somewhere down the line, if you are just working in an Indian corporate, and if you don't have, if you have not worked in an MNC, you won't know how their mentality, like how their point works, how the mind works, and which in turn I feel helps you not getting the desired result. But if you have that exposure, if you have that experience, you will be able to deliver. You
Yeah,
know how that mind works, you know what they want,
yeah, yeah,
you can understand the language basically.
yeah, yeah. You can understand their behavior, and you also know the reasons behind that behavior.
Hmm.
Otherwise it is very difficult to understand
Yeah.
if you are not been to that particular kind of environment. So yeah, of course, I would definitely would like anybody to have such exposure.
Yeah.
And then I mean at the moment also, that really gives me an edge over the
Yeah.
other people in the market, in every aspect.
Do you think studying there helped you build a different perspective, which in turn is very important in today's world to survive.
Yeah. uh, I mean, I have no doubt in saying that uh, you know, understanding totally different culture and perspective is something that I learned only after living abroad.
Hmm.
So for example, uh, I mean, so when I first went there, right, uh, I lived in a hotel
Hmm.
given by my university. So I lived in a hotel, and my uh, there were two beds in one room,
Hmm.
and the other person was from a different country,
Hmm.
a different ethnicity.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, how how is it going to work?
Yeah.
So, and slowly, right, couple of days, I definitely am a talkative person, and I talked to him, but it was really difficult for me to understand whatever he's doing and why he's doing so.
Yeah.
But 2 days down the line, then we had a friendship, then I understood his behaviors, and so on. Then I built friendships with different people in different continents and different countries.
It also helps you in learning new things, because obviously you are at in one country and similar people have similar habit,
Yeah.
what obvious. But when you go abroad and you meet people from different continents, different parts of the world basically, and you talk to them, you learn certain key skills from them that eventually helps you in life. Maybe how to just how to boil an egg.
Yeah, yeah.
Just that's I'm just giving a random example, but there are certain key skills that, oh, this is a different way of boiling an egg, I didn't know about it, and this is a much better option, and this will help in future. So that I think
Yeah.
foreign blend helps you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I completely agree. So I can give you some examples, right?
Sure.
So like, many people walk a lot, right? In India,
Compared.
we are not used to walk a lot.
Yeah, we have to promote 10,000 steps in a day.
Yeah, I mean, people, like, they will focus on their health, they will jog, they will walk. I mean, for daily tasks they will walk,
Hmm.
right? So that is something that I observed. So for example, I lived in New York and nearby areas. Even if light snowfall is there, even if it's raining, even it's too much humid, too much hot, some people are running, some people are having a jog, and we are just thinking, okay,
Let's just
it's,
see that
yeah,
what's there.
it's too hot, sometimes it's too cold. Because then what happens is, we have to do our course also, right? But since we are not used to do that from our home,
Yeah.
only course part is taking our day, and all the extra time
Hmm.
from our lives. But if we put up a discipline, we
Hmm.
will be able to focus more on the health and other aspect as well.
Yeah.
So that is one of the example that I noticed right after reaching over there.
I mean, that is very important for us to pick after it. No, definitely. I don't know if you're walking or not 10,000 steps a day. Are you
Yeah.
walking?
So
Or
currently
is it
my
a white
target,
lie?
no, no, currently my target is 7,000
That's
steps a day.
actually less compared to how much you need to walk. Um,
Yeah.
One key advice that you would give to students who are going abroad and planning to go abroad, the hidden change that they don't know, as in, like, obviously they are aware about weather change, cultural difference and everything, but one thing that they need to prepare themselves for, and which will help them.
Right. Um, I would say the financial aspect comes first.
Hmm.
Uh, you have to make sure that how much you are putting in
Hmm.
for the education. If you are taking a loan, then you have to of course, have plan ABC ready,
Yeah.
because you know plans plans may not work,
Hmm.
right? So you have to have options. But even before that, I would say every university has good scholarships.
Hmm.
um, if you
True.
start early, you can explore those. You can apply for good scholarships and get those. For example, me, I actually got more than 50% of scholarship on my tuition.
Hmm.
So I spent very less.
Yeah.
And
So you get the return of investment very early.
yeah, and once that is done, then your pressure is off from you, and then you can probably explore more and
Yeah.
take the
Take the
decision,
risk.
that you want to take. So explore scholarships one. Then if you start early, you can also reach out to current students and get understanding of the on
Curriculum.
campus
Yeah.
jobs.
Oh, okay.
On campus jobs.
Hmm.
So in US, you cannot work off campus, you have to work on campus jobs
Hmm.
only. So if you start early, you can reach out to folks on LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever, and then you can get some understanding of the on campus job. So I didn't know that.
Hmm.
And what happened is, when we joined, there were some folks moving in and they directly got the on campus jobs because they had
Okay.
already connected.
Connected. Okay.
So that is the second thing. And of course, the third thing is return on investment part. um, you have to make sure that if you are getting a loan, as uh,
Most
take
of the
take
students
yeah,
pay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So take as less loan,
Percentage.
yeah, as low percentage of interest as
Hmm.
possible. And at the same time, um, if you have some money, let's say for example you have like 30% of investment available with from your family, friends, whatever, or you have your own savings, and you decide that you will use that in the last part. So I would not suggest doing that. I would say, first, put from your savings or from family and friends, and then take loan when you
Hmm.
actually need it. Because as soon as you take the loan, your
Interest rate
yeah,
starts. The
starts
cycle
kicking in.
starts.
Yeah. So I mean, these will be very helpful. For in my example, I actually took my loan in the beginning,
Hmm.
so my interest rate was, I mean, I paid a lot in interest,
Yeah. Then
but
later.
I only realized that later.
Yeah.
So that is also something that students should look into.
I think it is also better that usually students pay their education loan once their education is completed. So if you are going in a country which has part-time job availability, and if you can start paying your interest from the start, it really helps you in making sure that you do not get in the circle of that education loan, in that loan where
Debt,
you're
yeah.
just paying the interest, and you don't reach your principal doesn't decrease in terms of
Yeah, yeah,
amount.
yeah, yeah, that is right. So if you also get on-campus jobs, you are sorted with your living
Living
costs.
cost, yeah.
So
Travel
that,
cost as well if you're living on campus and getting a job there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that also helps, uh, in a sense that you can live freely. You won't like,
The
you won't.
schedule also, I think, revolves around the time, on the basis of your curriculum, sorry,
Yeah,
calendar.
classes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they are flexible. But having on-campus job, and I mean, if you have on-campus job, that actually helps you getting a job also later on.
Oh, okay.
Because you know on-campus jobs are also in admin, also
Hmm.
in a department wherein you will work with a professor. Since, let's say, if you are working as a TA, like teaching assistant with a professor, and then you build a very good rapport with him, and post your education, he will refer you to a position, because if you have some
Yeah.
connections. So that way also it works. So uh,
Network building starts from
yeah, exactly,
from
from
where
day
you get
one.
education.
From day one.
From day one.
Yeah.
Last question before I let you go. A book that you would recommend to the future of tomorrow. No, not the future. To the tomorrow.
um I think, most recently I've read this, I'm still reading Naval Ravikant's book, The Almanac of something.
Okay.
So yeah, it's about entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And I mean, I actually just I hadn't it planned that I will buy this book, but I just read the synopsis, and he has mentioned those key elements. What will you will find in this book. And when I read that, I was like, okay, I connect to this personality a lot. I was like,
Okay.
yeah, I have to read this. So yeah, I think that is one book that I will recommend.
And a film?
Movie. Oh, that's a difficult question. Oh, a movie. No, I would not.
Not, you would not, you
I
would.
mean, there are so many movies, right? I
Yeah, I mean,
mean,
like one
genre,
movie that you felt inspired by and which you feel like will also inspire the students.
which kind of like inspired me. There are certainly I mean, so many movies that inspired me. For example, Swades is one, right?
So
Like
that is
the
your answer.
yeah, so Swades is one. Like so many people like it, right?
Yeah,
Because that shows the journey of somebody moving back. So that is one.
yeah.
Then a recent movie Uri also I liked.
Okay,
That actually gave me adrenaline rush. That I want to do something. So
okay.
that is there. Um, so movie wise, I can't just pick one. Uh,
I think I like a Swadesh answer. I think
yeah,
it's actually a good film,
of
and
course.
it's very inspiring
Yeah,
in
it
its
is
own way.
indeed, indeed.
Great, thank you so much for your time. It was lovely speaking to you, and I
Well,
learned a lot.
oh really?
Yes, I did. Thank you so much.
thanks for thanks so much for your time as well. I noticed that you have plenty of questions, and uh, I mean it's not just you have questions. You understand the things,
Yeah,
right? You
right.
understand things, and then you are asking it.
Hmm.
So that actually helps the participant, if host is like someone who is very of course knowledgeable and very open to understand the things. So yeah, thank you so much for your time as well.
Thank you. It means a lot to me. Thank you.